The three words I'd use to describe my experience in the MDP are life-changing, holistic, and community.
Self-directed, creative, and I think prolific.
Challenging, rewarding, and empowering.
Students in the MDP program come from a variety of backgrounds. We have many Indigenous students, primarily local or regional. We also have Indigenous students who are from the US, including Hawaii. We have Canadian students and international students.
I knew that I wanted to work towards helping my own community and fulfilling those responsibilities that I have as an Indigenous person.
Focusing on land-based learning and Indigenous knowledge is something I've always been an advocate for.
What really enticed me is like the interdisciplinary nature. A lot of times you're streamlined into one kind of discipline at this point in your education, and this really broadens your ability to critically think and analyze.
I came to visit the campus and I was impressed by the diverse range of backgrounds and experiences that there was in the program. And I just remember coming away from that experience feeling like this is the group of people that I want to belong to.
The MDP program is inherently interdisciplinary, and that is really because communities and society doesn't function solely within a discipline. So our health impacts our economy, which impacts our environment. And that is really what the MDP program is here to exhibit, that intermeshing of disciplines and how that plays out directly in communities. Our field placements that our students undertake are really important because they get to embed their course learning directly into practice. Our program has 2 field placements. Many students choose to go international for one of them. The role of the field placements is for them to, in a reciprocal way, provide an impact and contribution to the community. So that means our students are bringing some of the learnings that they have received from the classroom into the organization or community that they're working with.
It's really cool to be able to learn from people who are actually working in organizations and how we can utilize what we're learning in our class and put that into practice.
We've had many cases where our students have worked for their field placement hosts, and that has led directly to a job. There are a range of benefits for our students when they engage in co-curricular activities in the community. The first one, the obvious one, is networking, that they get to see development in action. They get to put into practice what they are learning in the classroom. So it's not just the theory. And they're also learning from community in meaningful, tangible projects that directly contribute to the betterment of Indigenous communities.
Learning is so much more than just what you take away from the classroom. There's a lot of different opportunities that are available on campus or that were available directly through this program. What may seem like additional work at the time or another hour that you're not going to get back when you have other projects that you can be working on is actually maybe the most important piece of the learning that you could have.
The University of Winnipeg is uniquely positioned in that our doors are open to the community. So our students are getting to sit directly with leaders in the community to talk about Indigenous development in action. Other things that our students get to participate in is our Distinguished Indigenous Scholars Series called Waywanee. These are people that are brought in not just locally, not just nationally, but international scholars coming in to talk about their work. And in lots of cases, our students have been invited to participate in the private luncheons afterwards and get to have some one-on-one FaceTime with these really important leaders in Indigenous communities and research across the country. We have a really popular course called Indigenous Thoughts and Worldviews. They get the chance to sit with an elder and hear traditional stories, learn about traditional activities, and gain some traditional knowledge in ways that they may not ever get the chance to otherwise.
I was so used to a very kind of stereotypical Western style of learning where I'm reading a textbook and I'm answering some questions after.
When you're learning about different subjects like health and sustainability, you're learning about that. But when you're learning from an elder, you learn about all these different things to learn about one thing.
When our students finish the program, what we've been seeing is that opportunities come directly to them because of the reputation of the MDP program. We have students who are now senior policy analysts for government. We have some that are midwives. We have some that are researchers for political territorial organizations. More than one student who has been a counselor and one who is now a chief.
I'm in a career that's pretty intense in terms of the stress and the number of priorities that can come at you at one time. And I really do think that it was my involvement in the MDP program that prepared me to be able to do that work.
It's so much more than just a degree or a program. It's a really immersed process which can change your trajectory as well. You become part of this larger community, which is the MDP. You also become more solidified in your own community or community organizations.
Being able to be an Indigenous person working at the forefront but using a strength-based approach is invaluable. We need to take back our power as Indigenous people, and we need to focus on all the good things that we've contributed to the world and the good that we're doing, and see ourselves the way our ancestors would see us.